Hey everyone, Dave Steele, the Blind Poet here, coming to you with an incredible, important announcement from my page. On October 10th, in just 13 days' time from the date this video is posted, my latest book, Austin's Amazing Adventures, The Big Test, is going to be released on World Sight Day. Now, this has been something that's been in the making for a long, long time. I am so excited for this book to come out and be released into the world, and the difference it's going to make to so many families and children. So a little bit of history and backstory on this book. I came up with the idea for the book series about 4 or 5 years ago now, when I read an article in a newspaper here in the UK by an author, a children's author you may have heard of, called Julia Donaldson, who wrote books like Gruffalo and The Stick Man and Room on a Broom and all these wonderful stories that me and my son Austin have read since he was a baby. We love these stories because they're poetry, and it means if I'm trying to read a book and I am having a bad eye day and I can't read the text, I can memorise the words in the same way I memorise songs and poems. So we've always read Julia Donaldson books, and the Gruffalo is a particular favourite of ours and has a very special place in my heart and in Austin's. Now, in this article, Julia Donaldson said there needs to be more children with disabilities featured in children's stories to give it that representation, which when I read that article, I just went, absolutely, yes, there does. And I wrote 6 books in one night of this series and developed the full series. Austin's Amazing Adventures is about a young boy called Austin, who's based on my son. But in the book, Austin is a young visually impaired boy going to a mainstream school, and it's about the interactions that he has, the challenges that he faces, and it's all told in poetry. And these beautiful stories, which are beautifully illustrated as well, are there to give representation, not just for children with low vision and sight loss, but for anyone who has a disability or living with additional needs and challenges. Any mainstream school that you walk into these days, there's children with lots of different challenges. My wife worked in a primary school for 10 years, so I know exactly what these are like, and Austin went to a school as well, and they're very, very important, these stories. So they give representation to people who are going through these things, the children who can see themselves within the characters within this story, and also for other children reading it, it breaks down those social barriers as well and helps them realise that these kids living with disabilities and additional needs are just like them, which is so, so important. But we wanted to take this book to a new level and make it like nothing else that's out there at the moment. So this is what we've created. I'll pop my glasses on now. This is Austin's Amazing Adventures, The Big Test. I cannot wait to share this with you. It comes out on World Sight Day. But with it, you can purchase the Pen Friend 3. This is the latest version of the Pen Friend. Anyone who doesn't know the Pen Friend, it's been a well-established device within the low vision and blind community for quite a number of years now. It's very affordable. It's not expensive at all. And this is how it works. I'm going to show you and give you a quick demonstration to show you how cool this is. I'm just going to take it out of its wrapping. Very, very simple. It's on a little lanyard, so I can pop it around my neck if I'm going to use it, and it won't get lost. And all I do is, big yellow button, just turn it on, power it up. And it's powered up. Heard that button. Now, with the book, if I hold it up and I tap the pen on the top corner.
The Big Test, from the series Austin's Amazing Adventures, by Dave Steele, the Blind Poet, illustrated by Rebecca Price, audio narration by Dave Steele. Image description of the cover: an orange front cover with an illustration in the centre inside a circle. The illustration shows Austin, a young boy with curly brown hair, waving, holding a mobility cane as he's walking with his dad, a man with a bald head and a black and grey beard, who is walking behind Austin with his guide dog in a harness. The two of them are walking along a coastal path surrounded by the sea, cliffs, sand and flowers.
So it's just given an image description of the front cover. Now, as you go through the story, the way the pen works, also, as I said, you may recognise the voice, it's narrated in my voice there. If you tap, beautiful illustrations, if you tap on the bottom corner, just here, it will give you an image description for each page. So if you're reading with a child that's visually impaired. It will describe the image for them, or they can do it themselves, which makes it perfectly accessible. And then if you tap on this page on the top corner, it will read the text. I'll just give you a little demonstration of that now. I'm just going to hold it down so I can do it myself. Tap there.
In a little town not far from here, there's a boy that you might know. His name is Austin Steele, and saying his cane, come say hello.
And that is accessibility in such a unique and simple way. Now, these books can be used to be read at home. They're also designed to be read in schools as part of a lesson to teach inclusion. So we have lesson plans available. There's a talking point section at the end of the book as well. And these are going to make such a difference. Now, this is the first book. There's going to be lots more to come. And in these books, as they go on in the stories that are yet to come, we're going to have different characters so we can break down the barriers, not just for people with low vision and blindness, but we're going to have characters with things like autism, ADHD, wheelchair use, all the things you would see, challenges that children have in any school that you walk into around the world. And it's about normalising and giving representation for those children, which is really, really important. Please show your support. Get yourself a copy of this book. If you've got kids, it's perfect for them. If you haven't got kids, buy one anyway and donate it to your local school or your local library. Let's get representation about disabilities and additional needs into the norm, and let's break down all these social barriers for kids. And also, these are going to be really fun stories as well. Back soon, Dave Steele, the Blind Poet. And don't forget, October 10th, World Sight Day. Austin's Amazing Adventures.